Hello, Kenneth Hollins here with HollinsMusic.com and MyKeyboardConnection.com. Thank you so much for taking a little time and viewing this lesson. Today what I have for you is a simple little chord progression, and this would be suitable for background music, talking music, worship moments. And I'm going to show you this little progression, but in the course of showing you this progression, I'm also going to show you a principle that you can use to hopefully make your chord sound a little bigger and a little fuller. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate it first, and then I'm going to go back, break it down, show you all of the notes, and explain to you my thinking behind what it is that I'm doing. Okay, all right, now this is the progression. It's in the key of G major. Okay, all right, that's the chord progression. Now again, this is in the key of G major. Now that's a real simple progression. And I started like this. Okay, I started with a C major chord. And you'll notice that with my left hand, this is with my left hand here, I'm playing C, G, and E. Okay, now that's one of the keys to making your chord sound bigger is when you create space within the chord. And what I mean by that, instead of playing C major like this, which I could do, C, E, G, I'm playing it like this, C, G, E. And notice how this C major sounds like this, and this C major sounds a little bit bigger, okay? And it's because I'm putting space in between my notes. And so that's a simple thing that you can do with so many different chords, okay? So many different chords you can do this. Is where you can take a root position chord, like this C major here. C is the root, okay? And I can simply take the middle note, okay, and make that my top note, which would be this, okay? So again, take the middle note, which is the E, and make it the top note like that, okay? And so now I have a different voicing for the C major chord, and it gives me more bottom, okay? One reason it does that is because you're creating space and you're covering a wider range of the keyboard, and it gives you a bigger sound, okay? So I'm doing that on the first three chords with my left hand. I'm actually playing C major going to D major going to E minor, okay? But with my left hand, I'm using that little technique where I'm putting space in between, where I'm taking the middle note and making it my top note. That's with my left hand. So it's like this: C, G, E, D, A, F sharp, and then E, B, G, okay? And you can do that with any major chord or any minor chord with your left hand. So a good thing to practice would be practice all of your major chords using that little technique. So if I were playing them in root position, it would look something like this: C major, D flat major, D major, and I'm doing this with my left hand, okay? And the reason I'm doing it with my left hand is mostly when I'm using this technique of creating space within the chords, I usually do it with my left hand, okay? So if you wanted to practice this little technique with the left hand, it would look something like this. Now, if your hands are big enough, you can do it all at the same time. Then go up a half step. Now, my hands aren't big enough to do D flat. I can almost get it, but not quite. I can do D major, but I can't quite get, oh, I got it. Okay. Some days I can get it, some days I can't. E flat. So what I'm saying is, if your hands are big enough, you can just play them like that and right on. But if your hands are not big enough, you can play them arpeggio style, meaning playing the notes one at a time. So it would look something like this. Okay, and again, all I'm doing is playing major chords, and I'm ascending in half steps. And this is just practice to get used to the technique, okay? And you can do that in every key, and it would help you get comfortable with doing it, okay? Now, let's get back to the progression. So I started like this, okay? So I started with, now this is with my right hand now, E, F sharp, and then once I get to the G, that's when I start the little technique with my left hand. Like that, okay? And then I play an A with my right hand, and then that's at the same time I hit the D with my left hand, and we play D, A, F sharp, okay? So again. Okay, now on the third chord, I'm playing B. So the melody is E, F sharp, G, A, B, like that, okay? And then we put the left hand with that. Okay, now on the third chord, which is an E minor chord, I'm playing E, B, and G. Okay, so let's put all that together. Okay, and I'm using my sustain pedal to make it a little smoother. So with the sustain pedal in there. And then, okay, this is a C major chord with an added 2. Okay, the D would be the added 2. And the voicing that I'm using is C and G. Okay, this is a fifth now with my left hand. This is another thing that you can do with your left hand to try to add a little bit more body to your chords. Instead of just simply playing a root like this, you can play a root and a fifth, and it just adds a little body, a little warmth to your chord, okay? A nice little foundation, okay? And so again, and then, okay? So with my left hand, I'm playing that fifth that I just mentioned, C and G. That's a fifth in the key of C, and then my right hand is playing E, G, and D. Okay, and I'm doing a little grace note, from the F sharp to the G, just a little melodic thing, and then we resolve to the F sharp, and once we get to the G, we play E and B like this. Okay, so E and B, that's a perfect fifth in the key of E, moving to a perfect fifth of the D and A. Okay, so again, okay. So that's the first part of the progression. Now we're going to do the first three chords again. Now this is where it changes. Okay, let me break that down. Real simple. Okay, real simple. It is simply okay, F sharp and D, moving to E and C sharp. Again, F sharp and D, moving to E and C sharp. Okay, now the left hand is this. Okay, without the sustain pedal, it would look and sound like this. Okay. So we're doing this, F sharp and D. And once we get to the E and C sharp, this is when we start moving with the left hand. B, F sharp, A, and then this little cluster here. C sharp, D, E, A, okay? Okay, again. Now with the sustain pedal, it looks and sounds like this. Okay, and then we do somewhat of the same movement, but now on a different chord, which would be this. All right, which is C sharp and A, and then we go to B and G sharp, or B and A flat, like that. So once we get to the B and the G sharp, we do this with the left hand. F sharp, C sharp, and E. Then we put the cluster there, like that, which is G sharp, A, B, and E natural, okay? So again, okay, without the sustain pedal. One more time. And then back to the top. We do it again. Start over. Okay, so that's basically the progression. Now what I try to do is try to make it as musical as possible. So sometimes I'll do little melodic lines, melodic movements, different little nuances, just to try to make it a little bit more musical, a little bit more expressive, and to change it up a little bit so it won't become too monotonous. Okay, so I'm going to play it a few times, and I'm going to try to add in some little melodic things. You know, if you want to experiment with little melodic things, you can take notes from the G major scale, which would simply be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Create little melodies while you're playing, okay? I change it up a little bit. Okay. All right, so that's the progression. Hopefully there's something that you can incorporate into your playing. Again, you could use that for talk music. If somebody's talking, you want to play something just nice in the background. Or you could even use it for worship moments. If I was playing it, trying to create or help to sustain a worship moment, I probably would just mainly lean on the first part of that progression like this. Now, if you want to throw some color in there, okay? All right, so that's the movement. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it's something that you can incorporate into your playing. If you want to view more lessons, please go to our website, Holland's Music. or you can go to our subscription-based website. It's somewhat like a subscription-based blog at mykeyboardconnection.com. Again, that's mykeyboardconnection.com, where I have years worth of videos and instruction there. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching this. And remember, HMPI, we're serving gospel musicians all over the world.